Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spook Radio. This is episode 1, and I have a guest here today where we're going to talk about ghost stories, scary experiences, and the paranormal or supernatural, whichever one. They're very similar. Anyway, we're here with my friend Alex here, who I've known since high school, and he has a lot of scary stuff going on that I think you guys would be interested in. So, Alex,
I am Alex. I'm Sania's friend. We've been friends since high school, and yeah, I have a lot of spooky encounters.
now, let's just talk and go straight into it. What is the first thing that your mom or grandma has told you about growing up and like with the paranormal?
Pretty much growing up, that I learned that was taught to me by my mom, my grandma, was that there are good and bad. Mainly, the ones we're probably facing that we usually encounter are usually good ones. They're just teasing you or messing up with you. Just as long as treat them as if you would treat any other person, whether they're living or dead. Always treat them with respect because they were once living. So treat them with respect and they'll treat you properly. So you mistreat them, they'll mistreat you back.
That's literally what I'm telling everybody on TikTok too. Like, respect everybody and everything because they were here before we hit the scene, right? And they'll be here when we're gone. So, you know, always respect these things. Um, Also, were there any like stories growing up that your grandma or mom told you?
There was a story, so pretty much it's my mom's encounter. So pretty much what happened was, as like her and her group of friends during that time when they were in high school, one of her friends decided to go see a palm reader. Right? So when they went to see a palm reader, everyone was going fine, but then my mom's like, of all of her friends, the person told my mom, the palm reader said, before you come in, like there's an altar, lit an incense and pray, and lit an incense there. And so she did, and then she questioned, I was like, oh, like I'm not the one being read, like why do I have to do it when the rest of them don't? And he said, you have two ghosts that are following you.
They're like attached to you?
They're attached to my mom, not me, but my mom. And said, you have these two ghosts, two spirits are following you. They're not harming you or anything. They're just following you, and they're just watching over you.
Okay.
And at that moment, and he said the reason why he told her to lit an incense because there's a special thing that he did at the door where no spirits can go in. Because if they were to walk through, a spirit would walk through it, they would like disappear, like they would like dissipate in some sense. And so she's doing that by protecting them, allowing them to come in freely without getting harmed. And so when he said that, like explained to my mom, like they're not evil, they're not nothing, they're just following her, they're just protecting her. And they said like these two spirits are kind of like, he feels like they might be like a family members. And he said like it's a grown man and a young boy. At that moment when he said that, my mom thought like it must be great grandpa watching over it, and then she must have think that the little boy is her older brother, because before my mom was born, my grandma was previously pregnant and miscarried. And so she believed that it must have been great grandpa watching over her and her potentially older brother if he had survived. And so that was the story that my mom told. And then another story was in my current home right now, in our apartment, where my room is. She said she has once in a while have seen a figure of a man standing by the door.
Where you're at right now?
Where I'm at right now.
Oh my god. Go on.
He doesn't do anything. He's just there, right? And when my mom said that, I'm like, you saw him too? Because I have seen him.
But is he like?
He's just standing there. He's not doing.
But do you know who it is, or do you have an idea who it might be?
I don't know, because again, my family lived there for so long since they immigrated to Canada during the war.
So it could be something
before
that.
So we don't know.
Okay.
Plus, it doesn't help that I lived across from Ryan Odette's funeral home too.
Oh, that right across. That's Is it still there?
It's not there anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know,
it could be funeral home related. Yeah.
But it's a figure of a man somewhere. He just do anything. Just there. Especially when like the lights are off and the hallways are dim and all that too. So or like the hallway lights are off and like you would be brushing your teeth, and then you can see like just like I'm just creeping on the side of the door sometimes.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I'm
Ew.
like,
Tell him to piss off. Why the fuck is he doing that? I'm sorry, y'all, but like, if he's peeking through, I hate that shit when they do that. Like, why do they? Every ghost that has to go over the door and move back fast. I don't get that. Is that their like signature move? They go to ghost school and do that? Anyways, but speaking of that area and the funeral home that's there, are there other spooky things in that area that you feel are very haunted, like that school you were talking about?
Yeah, so across, right behind my apartment building, there's an abandoned school, a Catholic school, St. Veronica. So what happened is, every time I walk past by it, like if I go through the property just to cut through, as a shortcut, I'll feel as if I'm being followed or like I'm being watched.
Oh.
And then I remember one time when I had that feeling, I was telling you about it. Naturally, when the reason why we get goosebumps is because we're feeling as if we're in danger.
Yeah.
So when I called you about it, and I was getting scared walking through that area, I had goosebumps running all over my body.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment I started talking about that school, I didn't feel like I was being watched, or I didn't feel like I was being followed.
Like when you passed the school?
When I stopped talking about it, even though I was walking past it, because I took the route, I didn't want to go through the field. The field was another story, because when I walk through the field, not only do I feel like I'm being watched, I feel like someone's following me. So when I called you that time, right, I was walking on, instead of walking through, I took the long way route to walk around the building, because I didn't want to experience that. I didn't feel like I was being followed, but I felt like I was being watched, like through the windows.
Do you feel like it was like a scary dark energy and not just like children playing or like a teacher spirit? It was something more sinister?
The fact that like my whole body went up and like goosebumps and chills, because I felt like I like in my head like, stop talking or you're gonna get hurt.
Okay, so it was something.
Because remember when I was talking about it, right? Oh, then all of a sudden like I changed the topic, they're completely different. The moment I did that, the feeling of being watched disappeared, and my goosebumps like disappeared as well, like instantly. Because the moment I start talking more into detail about like what I'm feeling every time I pass that building, the chills start to like creep up even more and more, and then the intensity in my head like, run.
Oh god.
And then the moment I changed topics and like talk about something else, it disappeared.
Do you feel like whatever that was there was something that is like protecting the area and doesn't want anyone there, and that's why you feel that way, or is there just something dark there?
I think a bit of both. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel right.
I agree, because I remember walking there when our mutual friend used to live in that area. It was really creepy there too, and it was like I felt something was following me there too, and it was very scary.
It might be the same thing.
Yeah, it might be the same thing, because I don't like walking in that area. I don't like it. Like, I don't want to hang out. I don't want to walk there. Like, if I'm on a street near it, I'm avoiding it altogether. I'm just staying on the main street. I'm not going in that area. So that's really interesting. I feel like we should search up like the history of that area and see what's going on. I feel like there's something there. I could feel it. And I know you feel it too, because I remember you were telling me about Sania. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, so what happened was, that time I dropped off my partner at the train station. So I was coming home. So walking through Sania at nighttime is very creepy, because it's like where the exhibition is.
The war used to be there.
Yeah, and so
people fought there and died there at the Sania.
Yeah, so as pretty much walking out where the train station area was.
That area is creepy.
It's very creepy enough, but it wasn't as creepy as when I went towards like the Dufferin, you know where the Dufferin Gate is, where the playground and all that, and the bazaar and all that.
Yeah.
That was where it got creepy.
Yeah, because it's like empty.
It's like empty, it's creepy, it feels eerie. And then all of a sudden, past the abandoned building kind of ish, where the bazaar is, I felt someone knocking. Like I heard someone knocking. Not from the outside, but from the inside.
Oh.
Because it was all boarded up.
Like where the medieval times is and stuff?
The building before the medieval
times. That one. Yeah.
So that building before the medieval times. And so as I was walking through it, I heard knocking, right? So I thought like it might have been just like a loose board or something. But then I looked closer, like they're pretty boarded up. Like they're boarded from the inside. right? So like, okay, where's this knocking coming from? Because like none of these windows are broken. I don't know what could cause this knocking. And then as I walk further, you know how I told you about that goosebump feeling when I
Yeah,
fell
yeah.
at school? I was having there too at Sania, and I felt I was being watched and I was being followed.
I remember you were like calling me and you're like, I'm gonna take the bus or an Uber. Like,
Yeah.
I need to get out of here.
Yeah, like I didn't feel safe at all.
Yeah.
So like I was like, in my head, once I heard like, I gotta run, like in my head was like, run, and I did.
Yeah.
Because I felt like someone's being followed, and like it was quickly catching up to me. Then the moment I left that different gate, I was like, fine.
It's like that whole area.
It's just
has
that
something.
area at nighttime.
But when the CNE is happening, do you feel that at all?
No, I think because there's so much people going on with all the lights and the sounds.
And the energy is everyone is there and active and awake.
Yeah, it's just when you're
alone.
It's just when I was there alone.
When you're alone in the CNE grounds and CNE isn't happening that time of year, it is very eerie and you know you're alone. It's like a old town. That's kind of feeling like an abandoned old town when you're there, and it's very creepy because I remember I came back from a concert because you know how Budweiser stage is right there and you cut through CNE. And I remember I was dropping my friend off at the GO station or the bus or whatever there, and I dropped her off and I was walking back and there's other people there, all walking back to Dufferin. But as they were walking ahead, I just felt that same feeling. Like, this area feels very odd, old, creepy. Like some history has happened here. You can feel like there's been kind of some shit going down in this place where you're walking. You feel like eerie. It's very eerie.
Yeah.
And I remember I was walking and I'm like, I'm just gonna walk with these people because I don't want to walk alone here. So yeah, I definitely agree about that area.
Yeah, because I even told my mom about it too. My mom's like, oh, it might have been like just the wind or something. Like, no, it's not the wind. It was like pretty airy and drafty. Like, I'm out in the playground area.
Talk about when you were walking there or on Dufferin and you were on the phone with me and then you heard someone say hi to you.
Oh yeah, so the moment where I said, oh, like in my head, like run, because I had my earbuds on, like my earbuds, I was talking to you.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden I heard, in my head I was like, run, because I didn't feel safe. But all of a sudden I heard, hi.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, and that's when like I bolted, right? And then all of a sudden I heard like just static. Even though I could hear you clearly, but in the background behind me freaking out and you trying to calm me down, all I heard was like static noises. Like
something was like in the conversation, just saying something.
Like I heard static,
trying to communicate.
Like, that's scary because it never happened before. Because even afterwards, since that day, it never happened. So I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. And then even when I passed a little threshold, like past the arches, right? Even like, oh my god, I was talking about, like, I'm like, I explained to you what I heard, right? I'm like, do you hear that? Like, do you still hear the stag, or is it just me? And it even said like, oh, and I heard what? I'm like, and I bolted even further. Yeah. And I bolted and I ran up towards the apartment buildings where the bus stop is by Dufferin and Queen. And I'm like, that's when like I don't hear it anymore. Even when I got home, I'm like, thank God I'm home. I'm gonna light some incense. I don't know what it is that followed me, but like I heard it. It's like,
I do know that spirits can affect technology, so I think something was there definitely trying to communicate. It's like you picked up like a ghost box or spirit box.
Yeah.
It's like that, like a radio frequency. Yeah, and
they
were like, what? Hello? Yeah. Hi. It was white noise. Nope. Yeah. Oh, like, damn.
I bolted, and then by the time I got home, I lit the incense, start praying at my family altar, my ancestors. I'm like, please don't follow me. Please don't follow me.
Please, ancestors, protect me. Yeah. Girl, that is scary. I don't like that at all, especially like walking and hearing that, because I've been through that before, like listening and hearing something in the back. Never again. But I will say, is there anything else? Are there any other stories?
Another thing that happened probably this year. So my family went to a Vietnam trip, like I told you, right?
And you were home alone.
Yep. And so what happened was, my room is pretty much in the middle of our apartment, and then the door to the hallway to the elevator is on the other side of the apartment. What happened was, whenever I go to my room, especially at nighttime, right, I would hear like these chains are like boom, 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 boom. So for my elevator, it's an old building. So before it would arrive to your floor, you'll hear sometimes the chains rattle or like that boom, boom, boom noise
Okay.
from the wires in the sides, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that I could hear it in my room freaked me out a bit because I thought, okay, maybe it's because I have a sensitive hearing, and like maybe just being I'm alone, I'm hearing this. But then, so that's why I always thought like, oh, it's probably just an elevator again.
Mm-hmm.
But then cut fast forward, my family are home, and I thought, okay, maybe because it's just quiet, right? So they're all asleep. My family's home. I went outside to get water, and then when I went back to my room, expecting to hear the noises again, I don't hear it at all. And they were home. They left in December. They got back around the second week of January. To this day, I don't hear the elevator in my room anymore.
Oh.
But I heard it when I was alone, like
Only
very clearly.
Specifically when you were
when
alone.
I was alone.
That's weird.
Only when I was alone would I hear that boom boom or the chains from the elevator.
Do you feel like your place is haunted, or is just so many energies coming and going every day and for years that there's just like residual spirits just hanging out, but they're not like haunting anybody, but they're just like coming and going?
Yeah, I think it's probably a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know there were 3 accidents on my apartment.
Yeah, there was
especially on my floors.
3 people that died on his floor.
Yeah.
In different apartments.
Yeah, because it's always like down the hallway. Like the first time I was in grade 8, a couple passed away because there was murder. We don't know yet. That's what I've heard. The husband committed murder and then he committed suicide. Their bodies were left there. They were decomposing.
And then people were smelling it.
Yeah, we smelled it. We thought it was a garbage, but then it was like it smelled flesh.
Yeah, it smelled like rotting meat.
Yeah, and so then police came and then they cleared it out. And then that's what I heard, like, oh, like, there's actually a couple that passed away. And then fast forward to 2-3 years ago, a lady was found dead because someone broke into her apartment and killed her. And so we don't know if those are the spirits that are haunting the apartment.
That's true. You never know. That is very scary because like they're just like down the hall from
literally
you.
down the hallway, and the fact that like it's like your neighbors too, and like it's also like what's scary about the recent lady, right? It's really like her house was broken into, and we don't know who.
Oh.
We don't know who.
Oh, that's creepy.
Right, so
because
we don't
he's like on the loose, no police report.
Yeah, it's like that's like how I'm also scared about like the spirits.
Like how do you even get in?
It's like it's also like the people who are alive too. It's like are also even more scared than the spirits we're scared of.
Do you feel like scary dead people or alive people are scarier?
People who are alive, like people like with malicious intents who are still living, are more scary because I feel like the ghosts or spirits are just there. They're just messing around with you. It's just to get a reaction. As long as you treat them with respect, they're not gonna harm you. They're just teasing you. That's how I see it. And then, but people are alive.
Yeah, I think like, live people
that's like a totally different thing.
Are scary.
Oh yeah.
Live people are strange and unusual. But yeah, I agree. Spirits and ghosts and things like that, like they're here and there, but I don't think they're here to harm anybody. I think live people you can't trust, for sure. Again, is there any other thing that you have to say? Do you have any plugs to say? Anything you want to shout out to the people out there?
Nothing much. Just stay safe and just remember just to have respect for everything and whether it's alive or not living anymore. And yeah, you can check me out on TikTok.
What's your TikTok handle? We'll put it right here at the
Vert 1995.
Okay. And anything else you want to say to the world before I say bye?
No, not really.
Okay.
Nice being here.
Thanks, guys. That is episode 1 of my Spook Radio podcast video thing that I'm making now to interview people and stuff. Anyways, I hope you have a good time. See ya.
Bye.